If you have any doubts about in between also, you can unmute yourself and let me know. So in this class we will talk about flow of electrons, flow of current, charge and voltage. So these are the mostly voltage, and probably we will touch upon resistance also. These are the four subtopics that we are going to touch in today's class. Whatever you know about electricity, just let me know. Unmute yourself and let me know. What is electricity? What is current?
Flow of charges.
Flow of charges, very good. I just want to know how much of knowledge do you already have? Your previous
The flow of charges in electrons is called electricity.
Fine. Anybody else wants to come out with something different? Flow of charges, flow of electrons is called electricity. Very good. Anything else that you remember, that you can recall from your previous knowledge?
Energy that make things work.
And that is energy that make things work, is a general energy, but I'm talking about only electricity. Fine, fair enough. It is the flow of electrons that constitute electricity. Okay, with that knowledge base, let's move forward. So now on the left that you see here, this is how the electrons flow in an atom. Do you know the formation of an atom? You all know that right in the center you have neutrons and protons. Okay, protons are basically positively charged, and then in the orbits around the protons you have negatively charged electrons. Okay, minus, the charge is minus, and neutrons are neutral in charge. They don't have any charge. Okay, zero. The electrons which is in the outer orbit is so loosely tied up with the atom. So what happens is, with slight amount of energy, if you give slight amount of push, what happens? These electrons can actually jump from one atom to the other, then further like this. So you can see these electrons jumping from one atom to the other and moving towards the right. So that's how the electrons flow. But for the electrons to flow, we need to provide some energy. When these electrons starts flowing, we say that current is flowing. Okay, so flow of electrons is simply what constitute electricity. Okay, now on the right hand side, we've studied in your class 8th also, there are some charges which are not flowing, but these are the charges which are standing charges. They are also called as static charges, means those charges which are not moving but they are static at one place. Okay, standing at one place, they're not moving. If the charges are standing at one place, they constitute electrostatics. Okay, like suppose you take a comb and try to bring that comb very close to few pieces of paper. So there the charges are not flowing but the charges are standing. They are in the comb. These charges which are in the comb will try to attract the piece of paper. So such charges are called as standing charges or static charges and constitute electrostatics. So I hope you understand the difference between electricity, which is because of the flowing charges, and electrostatic, which is because of the static charges. Is this clear to all of you till here? Understood? This is the basics. Okay, now we've not yet started the chapter. This is just the basics of electricity. So now look at this. Just imagine that there is a person, he's actually carrying a load on his back. So you see this person, he's trying to carry something on his back. So imagine that this is an electron. This fellow that you see here is an electron, and every electron will carry some load with it. Okay, right? So this load is called a charge. So for example, you are an electron, you are carrying a load. So you are electron, you are carrying a charge with you. Okay, X is an electron, he is carrying a charge with him. Y is an electron, he is carrying a charge with him. So every electron doesn't just flow empty handed. Look at this, we have written Q here. Q is nothing but the charge. Okay, we designate charge as Q, like we designate speed as V, and we designate distance as S and time as T. Similarly, charge is written as Q. Charge of one electron, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. Okay, charge of an electron is written as Q, और एक इलेक्ट्रॉन कितना चार्ज कैरी करेगा 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. This coulomb is the unit of charge. जैसे डिस्टेंस की यूनिट हुई मीटर्स या किलोमीटर्स, ओके, या माइल्स. चार्ज की जो यूनिट है वो कूलम है. एंड कूलम वाज एक्चुअली, दिस नेम वाज गिवन after the scientist, this Charles Augustin de Coulomb. He was a scientist after which this unit, the name of the unit was given, Coulomb. So now you see these electrons moving. So every electron that you see here, which is jumping from one atom to the other atom, imagine that every electron is carrying how much of charge? 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. This much charge one electron is carrying. Is it clear to you? Let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
now if you just take out a rough notebook and a pen, and I want you to calculate, if one electron carries 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb, if I want, suppose two electrons are flowing, how much charge?
1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19.
Correct. 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. और अगर 4 electrons flow कर रहे हैं तो how much of charge will be there?
4 into 1.6.
1.6 into 10 to the power 19.
Exactly.
6.4 into 10 raised to the power 19.
Exactly. So
6.
yeah, so means whatever is the number of electrons, you just have to multiply the number of electrons into the amount of charge that one electron carries. Okay, now I want you to tell me, if I want 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons should I collect and ask them to flow? Should I tell 4?
1 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19.
Exactly. Do it and tell me what is the figure. I'm still waiting for that figure.
Okay, ma'am.
All of you please calculate. It is like this. 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb is the charge carried by one electron. So 1 coulomb will be carried by how many electrons?
I'm 6.25 into 10 raised to the power 18 electron.
Into 10 raised to power 18.
Exactly. 6.
That's like 6.25 into 10 to the power 18.
Okay, 6.2 into 10 to the power of 18. Okay, how many electrons will make up one coulomb of charge? It is 6.2 into 10 to the power of 18. Write it down. Write down this number somewhere, this figure somewhere. Very, very important. So many electrons you have to collect together, allow them to flow, then only you can get 1 coulomb of charge. Is this clear to you? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the basic. 2 electrons, how much charge? 2 into 1.6. 3 electrons, how much of charge? 3 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. So when you multiply or when you increase the number of electrons, then the amount of charge also increases. This is called as quantization of charge. It is not in your book, but just for information, know it. When you increase the number of electrons, the amount of charge also increases. So it is called quantization of charge. Okay, you're quantifying basically. Okay, now we'll come to electric current. So you know that whenever the electron starts flowing, you have the electric current running. Okay, you have the electric current generated. So electrons, look at this. What is the flow of electrons? Electrons will always flow from negative to positive. Why? Because electrons are negatively charged. Okay, now so that means from the negative side, they will all start flowing towards the positive side. So what is the direction of flow of electrons? Negative to positive, isn't it? But now our conventional current, what is the direction of our current? We assume that the current will flow from positive to negative. Okay, this is just an assumption. So always remember this, write it down somewhere, box it, highlight this statement. The direction of the conventional current is opposite to the direction of the electrons. I am repeating myself. The direction of conventional current, basically you can say current. The direction of current is opposite to the direction of electrons. Okay, and in all the diagrams that I am going to show you now, you will realize that the current always flows from positive to negative. Okay, from the positive it goes towards the negative. Okay, now what is the unit of current? Ampere. Look at this. unit of electric current is ampere, AMP. Okay, and this the unit was actually named after a French scientist, Andre Marie Ampere. We say current is 2 amp, current is 5 amp, okay, current is 10 amp, current is 15 amp. We designate current as I, capital I. So if you want to say, okay, the current flowing in this circuit is 15 amp, so you will write I is equal to 15 amp. So electric current is said to be in the opposite direction to the flow of electrons. How can you measure the electric current? To measure the electric current, you have this instrument which is called as ammeter. Okay, we say ammeter. Okay, here it will be written A. So as of now, you don't need to go deep into it. Just remember, if it is A is written here, that means it is ammeter. Okay, and ammeter will measure dash. What will it measure? Current. Okay.
Current.
Yeah, it will measure current. Okay. Which alphabet designate currents? I. What is the unit of current?
Ampere.
Ampere. Okay.
Ampere.
Yeah. And electrons flow from negative
Negative
to
to positive.
positive. Okay. However, the current will always flow from positive to negative. Okay. So this is a general information I have given you about electric current. Fine. Now let's understand. So first we talked about the flow of electrons, then we talked about the electric current. Now we are coming to a different subtopic which is called as potential difference. What is potential difference? So suppose I take two tanks. Okay, on the left side you see here tank A and tank B. Fine. And I fill both the tanks, at the same level. A is also of the same, it has water up to this level. B also has the same water level as A. So now you tell me, will the water flow from A to B or B to A?
No, ma'am.
No, because
They will not flow.
they will not flow. Yeah, they will not flow. But suppose if I fill this A tank with A and they are connected, both of them are connected like this in between, and tank B only up to this level, the water level is now different. From which tank to which tank the water will flow?
Ma'am,
A
A
to
to
B.
From A to B.
Yeah, very good.
Tank
Yeah,
B.
from A to B. What is that thing which tells
The
you?
empty space.
Ma'am, difference between the water.
Exactly, difference between the water will tell you that the water is going to flow from one tank to the other tank. So this difference in the water is called water difference. Okay, which water difference will tell you. Similarly, there is a difference in the electrons, in the number of electrons, or difference in the number of charges. If there is a difference in the number of charges between point A and point B, that means there is some potential difference existing. Potential difference is also called as electric potential difference in electrons. Okay, now suppose again I have taken two tanks here, tank A and tank B. Now look at this, in tank A you have more number of electrons, so, and in tank B you hardly have 3 or 4, let's say. Okay, so what is going to happen? All the electrons will try to move from this higher density area to a lower density area. ठीक है, जहाँ पे ज़्यादा है वहाँ से it will try to come into an area which has got less number of electrons. So how will you know that okay, there is some electric potential difference existing? So you will check the number of electrons. कहाँ electrons ज़्यादा है? अगर point A और point B में if there is some difference in the number of electrons, that means there is some electric potential difference, or there is some potential difference existing. This potential difference, the unit of the potential difference, volt में. Okay, for
Voltage.
example 5 volt, 10 volt, 50 volt, okay, 110 volts or whatever volts. So this voltage will tell you कि कितना potential difference है. Okay, this is understood. After I move to the next slide, you will be able to understand it in a much better
Yes, ma'am.
way. Okay, so now this volt means voltage. Okay, volt we write in short, so this is voltage. So now how do you define the potential difference? Very important this is. How do you define the potential difference? Now suppose if I move this one electron from tank A to tank B, okay, or from point A to point B, I need to move the electron physically. So that means I need to do some work. Okay, so that work done in moving a unit charge from point A to point B is called as potential difference or the amount of voltage. So how do you define a potential difference? Potential difference is defined as the work done in moving a unit charge from point A to point B. For example, let's say you have done 1 joule of work. Suppose what is the unit of work done? Unit of work done is joule.
मैम जूल्स पर कूलम हो जाएगा.
Yeah, suppose you have done 1 joule of work, and how much of charge have you moved? You have moved 1 coulomb of charge. You will get 1 only, na? You will get 1. So that means what you will get? You will get 1 volt. So understand the definition of potential difference. Potential difference is simply the work done in moving a unit charge from point A to point B, and this is the formula of potential difference. Potential difference is work done upon the amount of charge. V. Basically, how do we designate potential difference? Potential difference is designated as V, capital V. Okay, what is this Q here? Q क्या होता है?
मैम चार्ज.
Very good, charge.
Charge.
Very nice, charge. It is the charge. ठीक है? Now like your current was measured with what instrument? Current.
Ammeter.
Ammeter, yes. Similarly, the potential difference or the electric potential difference or the voltage, that is basically measured by this instrument which is called as voltmeter. Okay, voltmeter. So how can you make out this is a voltmeter? Otherwise almost the shape and the size will almost be the same. You will have a V written in the center. V means voltage or how many volt.
Ma'am, what is the difference between potential difference and potential difference?
They are same. We can call it a potential difference also. We can call it an electric potential difference also. They are same. Say again. Say loudly.
And what is WD?
WD is work done. Work done. How do you define the potential difference? Potential difference is work done. Work done in moving a unit charge from one point to another point in a conductor. Suppose a wire, copper wire or any wire you take which can conduct electricity is a conductor. If you are moving 1 coulomb of charge from point A to point B, and in doing so if you are doing 1 joule of work, then what is the voltage? The volt is 1 volt. The volt is 1 volt. So when 1 joule of work is done in moving unit charge from one point to another point in a current carrying conductor, then the potential difference is 1 volt. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes.
Okay. So now my question to you is how do you designate electric current? What alphabet? What
Ma'am,
alphabet?
capital I.
Capital I. Okay.
I.
What is the unit of current? Unit of current?
Ampere.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Now, okay, what is the alphabet used to designate the potential difference?
मैम V.
Capital V.
Capital V.
Very good. Okay, and what is the unit of potential difference?
Volt.
मैम volt. Voltage.
Very good. Very nice. What is an electric current? You all know that it is a rate of flow of charge. Okay, flow of charge constitute current. जब charge move करेंगे तो current होगा, ठीक है? But what exactly is the definition of current? Electric current is the rate of flow of electric charge. Now look at this definition. Rate of flow of electric charge is rate of flow means you have to divide Q by time. So now our new definition that we have learnt is an electric current is a rate of flow of electric charge, means you have to divide the electric charge by time. So I is equal to Q upon T. write down these 2-3 formulas that I've just told you. First is I is equal to Q upon T, and potential difference is equal to work done upon charge. These two formulas are very, very, very important. And on the side you can see flow of electron is from minus to plus, but the flow of current is in the opposite direction, that is from positive to negative. This you have to always remember. Now I have a question for you. I have given you this question: how much of work is done in moving a charge of 2 coulomb across 2 points having a potential difference of 12 volts? First write down the given data, then the question will be very clear to you. Write down what is the given data. So charge is 2 coulomb, and look at this, 12 volts. What is volts? Potential difference. So write down V is equal to 12 volts. V is equal to 12 volts. So now you know V, you also know Q. You are supposed to find out work done. 24 joules. Yeah. Everyone is solving. Everyone is getting this answer. 24 joules.
Yes, ma'am. 24 joules.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Next question. Look at this. A current of 0.5 amps is drawn by a filament. Current of 0.5 amps. So I is given. Write down. I is equal to 0.5 amp is drawn by a filament of an electric bulb for 10 minutes. But here the time is given in minutes. So you have to convert it into seconds. Okay. So you know time and you know current. Find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. So you have Q, A, I and T.
I is equals to Q on T.
Yeah. So substitute the value and tell me what is the answer.
And 300 coulombs.
300 coulombs.
300 coulombs.
300 coulomb.
300 coulombs.
All got
300
300
coulomb.
coulombs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
So now you are all able to understand how to substitute the values and get the answers in simple formulas. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. Okay, what creates this potential difference? So who creates potential difference? Battery or a cell. It creates potential difference. Okay, now this is a simple circuit that I've shown you, and I will tell you how it works in the next slide. But as of now, before we move on to understanding how the potential difference is created and how the circuit works, let us first go through the basic symbols. So the battery is generally designated like this. It is generally symbolized as this: one big line and then another parallel small line, then one big line, one small line. So I have here made 3 lines, 3 pairs: big small and big small. So this means 3 cells have been connected together to form a battery. How do you designate a simple cell? One big line and one small line. Okay, in class 7th also I am sure you must have studied this basic electric symbols. So this is how a battery is designated. This is how a cell is written. Okay, so then you have the electric cell. So look at the first one. The big one is positive, the small line is always negative. Okay, big line is positive, small line is negative. If you combine 3 cells like this in this way, that means it becomes a battery. Now again the big line will be, so now so this is the battery, this is a cell. Now look at this. If you see this symbol, which means if there is no dot in between, that means it's an open circuit. What do you mean by open? Means the circuit is not complete, so no current will flow. But if you put a dot in between, which means now the switches you have put the switch on and the circuit is complete. Okay, now suppose if you have to show the 2 wires are connected here, you have to make 2 wires and put a dot in between like this. So that means the wires are joined at that point. They are joined. And if you have to show that they are not joining anywhere, they are just crossing each other, so you can actually just put a curve, a semicircle like this, and then start the wire again, which shows that they are not connected there, they are not joined there, but they are just flowing. A bulb is designated like this. Look at this here, bulb is like this. Okay, look at this zigzag line here. The zigzag line is the resistance. It is the, now this resistance will have certain values, okay, 2 ohms, 5 ohms or whatever. So now if you see this, this is again a resistance, but I've put an arrow here, or something like this, again a resistance and an arrow here. So whenever you have the arrow, it is called a rheostat, or in other words you can say variable resistance. Variable means the resistance which you can change. So I'll show you what a variable resistance is. Just in the next class I'm going to show you all. Okay, but here on the top, the other resistance that I showed you, this one, this is a constant resistance. It cannot change. Okay, this is a constant value. But here you can vary. You can change the value. This A is ammeter. I've shown you ammeter and voltmeter pictures, photographs. Now when you want to show them in an electrical circuit, you make a circle and write A in the center. Similarly for voltmeter, you can write V in the center. So we are going to use all these symbols in drawing the electric circuits. Okay, this is how a simple electric circuit looks like. You have a battery, you have a switch, on and off switch, then you have a wire, and you have a bulb. Okay, now tell me, which is the conducting part in this circuit? I told you na, current carrying conductor. हमने, which is a current carrying conductor? Wire. Very good, wire. Because if that wire is not there, the current will not flow. So it is that conductor which can conduct electricity. So it is the current carrying conductor is a wire here. Now I told you, what does the battery do? What is one job of battery? It is the battery which creates the potential difference. So the battery is only to create a potential difference. Otherwise, see, in this conducting wire you will have all the electrons, but they are not flowing right now. They will only flow when they sense the potential difference. So they need to sense that potential difference. Battery will provide that potential difference. Battery creates that difference. Okay, now this bulb that you see here is a kind of resistance. We will talk about the resistance at length, but let me just give you a small introduction. Let's say you're going to school, okay, and on the road there is some traffic jam. So that because of the traffic jam, you're not able to reach the school on time, right? So the more the number of cars and vehicles in between, the more time you will take to reach the school, isn't it? Because the traffic is a lot of traffic is there. So what stops you from reaching the school? What? Traffic. Yeah, traffic. So traffic is a kind of resistance. Resistance को आप हिंदी में बोल सकते हो एक तरह की रुकावट, है ना, एक तरह का some kind of hurdle in between, some kind of obstruction in between. So resistance is basically the capacity to restrict the flow of electrons. So you are a small electron, you're trying to go to reach school, but someone stops you. So he is the resistance, you are the electron. It is something like that. So the bulb here is actually a kind of resistance. Okay, what does the bulb do? Suppose all the electrons are trying to, they want to flow positive positive to negative. So let's say this is the positive end. From positive to negative, the current is trying to flow, but in between you have this bulb. The bulb requires electricity. So the bulb will try to stop the electrons. He will try to stop the electrons and then utilize the energy of the electrons in order to glow itself. So the bulb will try to restrict the flow of the electrons. So the bulb is a kind of resistance. All the equipments that you see in your house, your AC, your fan, your light, your bulb, your washing machine, anything that works based on electricity is a kind of resistance. Very roughly, do you understand what is resistance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir.
So what now I'm going to do is just 2 more minutes and then we are going to wind up the class. So now the same circuit I've shown a bulb here, okay, then a switch here, then a battery, then a wire. Same depiction I've done it, but using the electrical symbols. Now look at this. you have, this is a cell. I'm using a cell, you can use a battery also. Okay, so it is a cell. The big line is positive, the small line is negative end. Okay, this arrow, you see these arrows here, these arrows are showing the direction of the dash, direction of current. Very good. Yes.
Electrons.
No, not electrons. Not electrons. Electrons will always move from negative to positive. Remember, electrons will move from negative to positive, but current will flow from positive to negative. Okay.
Negative.
So the arrow here shows the direction of the flow of the current. Now look how the current goes. The current starts from here, goes like this, goes through the ammeter, then through the resistance, and then comes back to the battery. So the circuit is complete here. The circuit is complete. Okay. In this picture that I have shown you, in this circuit diagram, A is the ammeter. A is the ammeter. What does the ammeter do? Ammeter measures the current at a point. किसी एक point पे it measures the current. So suppose if I have placed the ammeter here, it will measure the current at this point. Okay, and look at this voltmeter. Voltmeter measures potential difference between 2 points. So now you can ask me, ma'am, why have you connected this voltmeter parallel to the resistance? And voltmeter ka, look at this, one end is connected at one end of the resistance, the other end is connected to the other end of the resistance. So the voltmeter and resistance are connected parallel to each other. This kind of connection is called parallel connection. So you may ask me, ये parallel connect किया हुआ है आपने, लेकिन look at this ammeter. Ammeter and resistance आगे पीछे हैं. तो ये किस तरह का हुआ connection? Series connection हुआ. Series मतलब suppose if 40 of you hold hands, एक ने दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ा, दूसरे ने तीसरे बच्चे का हाथ पकड़ा, उसने अगले वाले बच्चे का हाथ पकड़ा. So you are all standing in a queue holding hands. So what kind of connection is that? Series connection. You are all standing in series. Parallel connection क्या होता है? Parallel connection means एक like something like this. One end of the voltmeter is connected to one end of the resistance. Other end of the voltmeter is connected to other end of the resistance. So when they are parallel like this, it is called parallel connection. समझ में आ गया सबको? एक के पीछे एक is series and एक के parallel एक मतलब, yeah, it's in parallel. A meter is connected in series with the resistance. In series with the resistance. But voltmeter is connected in parallel. ऐसा क्यों है? Because voltmeter has to measure potential difference between 2 points. It needs to measure difference. So difference has to be between 2 points. So if you connect it in parallel like this, it has got 2 points. पहला point कहाँ है? ये वाला पहला point है, ये वाला one end. And where is the second point? Second point is here. This is the second point. So voltmeter will measure the potential difference between this point and this point. Isn't it understood? I'll repeat again if you have not understood.
Ma'am, please explain once again.
Okay. So that's why voltmeter is always connected in parallel to the resistance. However, ammeter is always connected in series. Okay, fine.
ma'am.
चलो फिर. See you all next Monday. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.